just a small introduction. Sergey Grinchenko is the chief researcher at the Institute of Informatics Problems, Federal Research Center Informatics and Control of the Russian Academy of Sciences, Moscow, Russia. He is also the vice president of the Biocosmological Association, full member of the International Informatization Academy. Areas of scientific interest include search engine optimization theory, cybernetic biology, cybernetic sociotechnology, cybernetic physics, theoretical informatics. So now we are moving to Sergey's presentation. So Lowell, thanks for your agreeing to read it. Please.
Good. Well, I'm delighted, and Sergey, of course, sent us the full presentation, so I will do my best to read it. Sergey is a full professor. He's a doctor of technical sciences at the Institute of Informatic Problems of the Federal Research Center, the Informatics and Control of the RAS in Moscow. The age of global history of humankind is estimated in different ways, from the emergence of ancient civilizations, from the Upper Paleolithic revolution, from the appearance of the first man, or Homo sapiens. Obviously, in order to clarify this choice, it is necessary to use some method of a systemic nature, in particular the informatics-cybernetic model, or ICM, which considers the integral humanity as a self-controlling hierarchical network system, permanently tracking, according to search optimization algorithms, target criteria of an energy nature, with fixing its results in the form of system memory of the corresponding hierarchical subsystems. Spatio-temporal characteristics of global evolution in the framework of the ICM represent some modification of the Zhirmunsky-Kuzmin number series, a geometric progression with the denominator, E at the power V 15, 1, 5, 4, 2, 6, so on, revealed by them in the study of critical levels in the development of biosystems. Applications of the results of the mathematical cybernetic modeling of historic processes in the archaeological epoch and their correspondence to the empirical data of paleontologists, archaeologists, and historians are presented in a series of monographs. From the standpoint of ICM, the stages of complication of information technologies, or IT, production technologies, or PT, socioeconomic formations, SEF, and civilizational structures of the humanity system in the course of its historical development look as follows. Cephalization of vertebrates about 428 million years ago, culminating in the emergence of the neocortex about 140 million years ago, and catfish ranges up to about 4.2 millimeters in size. The emergence of pre-humans, hominidea, in the beginning of their development of IT signal postures, sounds, and movements about 28 million years ago, culminating in the emergence of hominids about 9.26 million years ago in the family and territories radius of a circle of the same area, up to 64 meters in size, with an accuracy anthropogenic impacts of up to 28 centimeters. The emergence of prehumans, Homo erectus, Homo ergaster, and the beginning of their development of IT, mimics, and gestures of about 1.86 million years ago, culminating in the emergence of Homo heidelbergensis about 0.612 million years ago in settlements areas of up to 1 kilometer in size and accuracy of anthropogenic impacts of up to 1.8 centimeters. The emergence of Homo sapiens, man, and the beginning of the development of IT speech or language about 123,000 years ago, with the culmination in the Upper Paleolithic revolution of some 40,000 years ago, in the areas of Okrug up to 15 kilometers in size, and the accuracy of anthropogenic impacts up to 1.2 millimeters. The beginning of the development of the primitive communal system, PCS, and the first proto-civilizations. The emergence of a complicated human Homo sapiens II and the beginning of his mastery of IT writing and reading about 8,000 years ago, with the culmination, the revolution of the axial time some 2.7 thousand years ago, in areas of the super district up to 22 kilometers. And the accuracy of anthropogenic impacts up to 0.08 millimeters. The beginning of the development of the OEF, feudalism, and local civilizations. The emergence of a more sophisticated human, Homo sapiens III, and the beginning of the development of IT replication of texts about 1446, with the culmination of Industrial Revolution of 1806 in the areas of the super country up to 30,370 kilometers in size, and the accuracy of anthropogenic impacts of up to 3 the beginning of the development of the OEF capitalism and regional subcontinental civilizations. The emergence of an even more complicated man, Homo sapiens IV, and the beginning of his IT local computers in about 1946, with the culmination of microprocessor revolution in 1970, in the planet Earth as a whole area up to 51,000 kilometers in size, and accuracy anthropogenic impacts of up to 0.35 The beginning of the development of the OEF Digitalism I and planetary civilization. The emergence of a more complex human, Homo sapiens V, and the beginning of his development, IT telecommunications network in about 1979, with the culmination of the network revolution in about 2003 in the near-Earth space area with the size radius of a ball around Earth up to 773,000 kilometers, and the accuracy of anthropogenic impacts up to 23 nanometers. The beginning of the development of the OEF Digitalism II and the civilization of near-Earth space. The emergence of an even more complex Homo sapiens VI and the beginning of the development of promising nano-IT in about 1981, with the culmination or nano-revolution of about 2341 in the intermediate space area up to 11.7 million kilometers in size, and accuracy anthropogenic impacts of up to 1.5 nanometers. The beginning of the development of the OEF, Cephalism III, and the civilization of the intermediate space, the estimated date of the nano-revolution allows us to build meaningful interpretations of the concepts of the CEF Digitalism III and civilization of intermediate space. At the same time, the following is fulfilled: the principle of systemic cumulation and the emergence of new systemic entities does not mean the elimination of similar ones that have previously arisen, and the principle of systemic consistency. This emergency is accompanied by cardinal complications in the structure and adaptive behavior of those that have previously arisen, with a decrease in their relative role. And here we see a graph which is worth just take a minute looking at this for a moment before I move on. You see here the different stages that Sergey was discussing, starting from some 28 million years ago, and then moving on up almost to our present day. Well, let's move on. Thus, the digital perspective of big history is viewed in the direction of the trend of global cosmic evolution of the self-controlling hierarchical network system of humankind. And here are some of the sources that Sergey has used. And he thanks you for your attention and thank you for your generosity in listening to my attempt to present Sergey's excellent presentation. Now, let's go back